It's crazy to think that the FIFA franchise has been going strong for over 25 years, yet this previous decade has produced some of the most iconic games in the series history. For me, I clocked hundreds, if not thousands of hours playing each installment this past decade, so in today's video, we're going to be taking a trip down good old memory lane and reminiscing back at some of the most memorable, nostalgic, and iconic high-potential wonder kids that every FIFA game this decade had to offer. That's right, from FIFA 11 to FIFA 20, that is a long time in football, and there have been some absolute ballers produced and some flops as well. And obviously we can't include everyone in this list, so let me know down below who we missed out and who should have been included in this list. Guys, if you're going to enjoy the different style of video on the channel today, make sure to drop it a like down below. While you're at it, subscribe and turn on those notifications, and also comment down below who were your favorite FIFA Wonder Kids to sign in career mode from years gone by. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we're kicking off the list with FIFA 11. At the start of the decade, the OGs were introduced, and it was a time back when Christian Eriksen was an 18-year-old teenager at Ajax with 90 potential. Alongside Romelu Lukaku at Anderlecht with 88 potential, they were special talents that EA predicted to have successful careers and prove themselves in real life. On the other hand though, prospects like Alexandre Pato and Jack Wilshere unfortunately didn't have that same luck. Gifted with 91 and 88 potential respectively, they were classic FIFA 11 wonder kids that have been cherished and adored for years to come. They made their mark on the FIFA community earlier in the decade, and I'm sure the streets will never forget. Oh, FIFA 12, where do we even begin? Some would consider this as the best FIFA ever created, although hands down, it was definitely the year of the Brazilians. If you love Brazilian players, FIFA 12 was the game for you, not only in just Ultimate Team, but even career mode as well. Brazilians just took over FIFA 12. This was the year that Neymar began to receive some mainstream attention at Santos with 91 potential, a 90 potential Lucas Moura at Sao Paulo, Gabriel at Juventus with 88 potential, who knows what happened to that guy, and a 16-year-old Adrian with 86 potential, just to name a few. Yes, I know their careers didn't pan out the way we all predicted, but let's just say the Brazilian league is where it's at when it comes to FIFA 12. Prestigious goalkeepers emerged onto the scene like an 88 potential Leali at Brescia and a young 89 potential Marc-Andre ter Stegen at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Even Phil Jones was a wonder kid back then. It was also a time where Stefan El Shaarawy was one of the most hyped up players, not in just FIFA, but in football in general, and was an absolute beast to use in game. Simpler times. Someone take me back. What some would consider one of the elite FIFA games this decade, myself included, FIFA 13 was a masterpiece in every aspect, simultaneously bringing some high quality wonder kids to the career mode table. Who could forget the legends that will always have a place in our hearts? My favorite wonder kid of all time, the go-to cam Mario Götze with 92 potential. Back when Iturbe was hailed as the next Messi, Tony Vilhena and Angelo Ogbonna just hook it into my veins. Chelsea was still treating their wonder kids to the lone treatment like Lucas Piazza, another high-potential Brazilian that was also featured in FIFA 12. Marco Verratti was touted as the next Italian midfield maestro at 19. Rafael Varane began to emerge as a career mode staple defender sensation that maintained his high potential throughout the years. And hey, just to throw a little fun fact in there as well, there was a player, probably one of the youngest of all time, he was 15 years of age, Shibi Shrivers of Genk. Oh my days, everything was popping off in FIFA 13. What a time to be alive. So we're here at FIFA 14, and the nostalgia is hitting hard. I honestly think I'm about to shed a tear right now. The first FIFA to transition to the next-gen consoles, Xbox One and PS4, there was no short supply of upper echelon wonder kids, producing some all-time greats in the process. Zakaria Bakali led the Belgian golden generation with 90 potential from the word go. An absolute baller, a beast back in the day. It was cheap, skillful, agile, quick, and I could not speak high enough of the lad. Unfortunately, things began to turn sour in his career in real life, but hey, we'll always remember him as the FIFA 14 god. On their way to winning the 2014 World Cup, the Germans were also the flavor of the month with the Schalke Wonder Kid Factory, the Talent Factory, producing a few main stars like Julian Draxler and Maya. The Italian generation was still going strong with high potential goalkeeper Scuffet, and also AC Milan's De Sciglio. We also saw the first sighting of a no-face Anthony Martial at Monaco. Brazilian Brazilians continued to emerge, this time with defenders like Marquinhos with 89 potential. I can honestly go on for days. The breakout star at Manchester United, Adnan Januzaj, another Belgian that absolutely exploded onto the scene, had the season of his life at United. He was added later on into FIFA 14, and I can just remember the hype that surrounded this kid once he was added into the game. 88 potential to start off with, Adnan Januzaj, and also coupled with a lot of pacey wingers such as Bruma, Keita Balde, and of course Angel Correa, just to name a few. I could talk for weeks about FIFA 14, but we gotta move on. For me, FIFA 15 can be defined by the rise of two wonder kids that took over the footballing world in the 2014/15 season. AC Milan's Hashim Mastor and Real Madrid's Martin Odegaard. Both with rather late additions in the game being added later in the game cycle. Once they turned 16, it was a quick rise to stardom for the pair of them. The Moroccan Mastor with 88 potential and Odegaard only with 80, they were still highly touted superstars that took the footballing world by surprise and hyped up most career mode fans around the globe. We saw the birth of a solidified career mode legend in the making, Yuri Tillemans, the Belgian midfielder who'd been a prospect on everyone's radar for quite a while, gained extreme popularity in FIFA 15 at 88 potential, still at Anderlecht back then, and you guessed it, the Belgian revolution was slowly taking over, and it's good to see Tillemans killing it for Leicester in the Premier League in real life. This FIFA, unfortunately, we saw the passing of the late Junior Melander. The Belgian midfielder was out at Wolfsburg at the time and was touted for very big things. Melander was involved in a tragic car accident a few days into 2015 that shocked the football and FIFA community as a whole. 5 years on and it still pains me to this day. Rest in peace, Junior Melander. In FIFA 16, we experienced the meteoric rise of insane youth academy talents all across Europe. Alongside the new feature of player training in career mode, it was the perfect scenario. The likes of Barcelona B youth academy graduate Alan Halilovic springs to mind as the Croatian was handed a whopping 90 potential. Two teenage goalkeepers materialized with the additions of the Frenchman Alban Lafont and of course the Italian stallion Gianluigi Donnarumma, both only 16 at the time. They were both excellent talents. Honorable mentions go out to the Golden Boy and Euro 2016 winner, 88 potential Renato Sanchez, Ousmane Dembele out at Stade Rennais, sharing 89 potential with Dele Alli, and the two 88 potential gems on everyone's shortlist, Richard Lee Bazua and Bril Donald Imbolo, the signings that every manager back in the day dreamed about. Battle of the two Manchester club strikers was all the rage back in FIFA 17 with the new kid on the block, Man City's new Brazilian import Gabriel Jesus arriving in January with 91 potential versus Marcus Rashford, Manc born and bred at the Red Devils, rising to the occasion at Old Trafford. Borussia Dortmund also had a pair of wonder kid wingers, Captain America himself Christian Pulisic and the new Turkish sensation Emre Mor were both exciting prospects. However, above all, it was France's Kylian Mbappe's first FIFA, and boy oh boy, this was definitely one of the most pivotal moments in career mode history, if not football history, with 92 potential from the off. Little did we know that an unstoppable generational talent had just arrived and was just getting started. And a summer that saw Paul Pogba Manchester United have the longest transfer saga of all time, he was gifted with the highest potential in FIFA 17, seeing him grow up to a 94 overall. In comparison to the rest, FIFA 18 was quite a low-key year for wonder kids in my books, with the main highlights including the Argentine super talent duo Lautaro Martinez and Ezequiel Barco establishing their status onto the scene with high 80s potential. Ajax's youth academy began to come into fruition as 90 potential Matthias de Ligt was becoming a household name. We saw first-time FIFA appearances for 16-year-old Angel Gomez, Sergio Gomez, Alphonso Davies and Takefusa Kubo all surfaced and were showing great potential. in what would probably go down as one of the most broken career mode experiences in history. Don't worry, we'll get to the worst one soon. Despite FIFA 19's blatant and obvious issues and the lack of innovation all around, including a Champions League license wasn't gonna cut it. Thankfully, the community had an abundance of new rising superstars to indulge in and break the bank for, such as Sandro Tonali, aka the next Andrea Pirlo, aka Kylo Ren from Skywars? I actually said that? Aka Kylo Ren from Star Wars. Serie A newcomers such as Nicolo Zaniolo, the AC Milan January signing of Lucas Paquetá, and the hyped English pairing of Phil Foden and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Despite the lack of game time, they acquired respectable high 80s potentials nonetheless. And the Dutch were at it again with Frankie de Jong, a 90 potential Ajax Youth Academy graduate. You know they had to do it to him for the culture. I swear Ajax and their stars have just been taken over career mode in the last few years. And finally, here we are then, the last FIFA of this decade and probably one of the most broken from launch. This game was in a state I never want to see it go to again. As we're only halfway through the game cycle, the main Wonder Kids have pretty much already been well established from the get-go, like Rodrigo, Haaland, Sancho and Havertz, coupled with the late squad update additions of 90 potential Ansu Fati, Eduardo Camavinga and Pedri. I'm sure there's the stars of the next generation on the come up that will eventually be added into future FIFAs in the next decade that we can all be hyped for. However, if you still want some more end of the decade FIFA Wonder Kid hype to get around, make sure to check out B-Monus' channel, one of the goats of the career mode scene. He's got a very similar video on the way, so that will be linked in the description and in the end screen. And that is where we're going to end off today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy taking a look back on the great Wonder Kids of FIFA gone by this decade. The nostalgia got me good in this one. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe with notifications on, and comment down below who we missed out on in this list. I've been BCHD and I'll catch you all in the very next video.